Well, as far as a lender, I've been doing this 23 years, and I very rarely get the opportunity to give back to the real estate community by the way of leads. The platform that we have got now gives leads to the real estate agents. That's huge because you're building relationships and you're building a single source lead generation through relatives that maybe you haven't had relationships with before.
Right, so this goes back to, can lenders provide leads? Yes. But the question is, but you have to say this, are the leads all urgent?
No.
No. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So as we get into our workshop here, and you sell me, I'm going to be the attorney, you have to sell me on why you're going to be able to handle the flow of the business that I have, because I have a need for realtors. Because you're talking to me, this is not like I don't have a need, I have a need. What we want everybody to do is start going where the demand is. Go where the demand is. Where do they want you? It's like when we have a hail damage neighborhood. Is there a demand right now? Always answer the demand, right? Steve, I'll ask you actually to find a word because you've helped so much put this together. So as far as just, the concept of single source lead generation, what's your takeaway so far?
Well, what I'm hearing so far is, to be able to come in as that specialist, to be able to differentiate yourself from the other, how many agents are?
8,000.
5,000, 8,000?
8,000.
8,000 agents?
Okay. Really, you want about 6,800 are.
There's a new one born every day.
Email addresses.
Welcome, Julie.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, little brain man ask.
So to be able to differentiate yourself when trying to achieve one of these lead sources, and then also to be able to, if you do land one of those accounts, to be prepared to not fall short, because you fall short once, you might get a second chance. You fall short twice, and you've lost that connection.
A corporate relocation account. What Steve's saying, your corporate reload. How many times out of 10 can you fail? Keep sending business. Pretty close to none. But remember, they all had to sell and they were referred by a situational advisor. This is pretty much a sure thing. And so we've got to perform very well. But it isn't that hard to do when the leads have to sell. That's the difference in the quality of the seeds. I'm just buying the seeds that have to sell. All the lead generation sources that I want have to do business. And it made quite a bit of difference financially. Tom, you actually had your hand up and stand.
I was going to say the exact same thing as Steve. As we as real estate agents look to compete in the marketplace, people want to deal with specialists. You've got cancer, you want to deal with a cancer specialist. You want to deal with regular doctors. So, same. Part about being a specialist and being recognized.
Specialist.
Yes.
I actually, when I was a RE/MAX agent, I created a company called Relocation Results. I wanted what kind of business? I was the president of Relocation Results as a RE/MAX agent on my business card. And I had a bio, and I positioned myself as the president of a relocation company at your kitchen table to sell your property. Now the other agent had a binder with 17 different ways they're going to promote the property to find the buyer. But the binder was there. And I focused on, do you want rabbits or turtles to come through your property? Rabbits are reload, turtles are local. What do you want? A lot of marketing plans are trying to find the turtle. I'm going after the rabbit. You decide which one's better. Now, it kind of helped that I was the president of Relocation Results. Do you think it was easier to get relocation business from the third-party relocation companies? Yeah. Just like that. The flow came on. But I had the right marketing pieces, and I had prepared, as we said before, that about preparation, I think we took notes about, okay? That I was prepared for this. I didn't just go and start networking at the HBA or something like that. Stan, one last thing, because he had his hand up, get your finger up at least.
Yes, because you reached out earlier, and after I listened to this, trying to kind of put things in relation to what you discussed. Yes, my REO business is working with a situational advisor for 3 years, which was 100% of my business that I needed. Now, I still chose to do other traditional business, which looking back was silly because we do what we know different, we do different, but what did I know? I knew how to help buyers along the way when I had $100,000 a month situational advisor provider of income.
Right.
I think we've all stumbled across all these 4 categories. We will just, maybe this is what I'm taking away from it. I think that's what you're looking as feedback. We've all stumbled across those great 4 categories. We just did not have that awareness to stop and say, hey, this is the high real as opposed to...
That's really great.
So
That we stumbled across single source lead generators that fall into one of the 4 categories. We just didn't know it.
right.
And Julie, brand
What
new
you're
agent.
bringing with this is that awareness for you and I and even more experienced agents who maybe through that awareness increase the yield of their business.
So Julie's brand new. In the room we have about 10 different sorts of lead generation. 10 different. Should she pick one or just take them all? She should do one thing. Just one thing. This band I wear means a lot to me that says one thing. To be very focused. It also means let your yes be yes, your no be no, do what you say. One thing. And so, if anybody benefits from today, I'm hoping at the minimum is Julie, that she's on the right path. That choose one thing to do. If it's divorce attorneys, that may be all you need to do in your career, is have 3 or 4 or 5. How much business do you want? You want 10? You're going to need a team, which is a good thing. Yes. You got your hand up?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Like when you said one thing, is it one generator, one of the 4, focus on one of those?
Yeah.
Or
You
one?
can do the Teachers Association.
Okay.
In the Teachers Association, we want to find the key person who is of influence, because that advisor is not a situational advisor. They're not a beneficial advisor. They're what we call an endorsement advisor. That somebody says, I use. What's your first name?
Yeah.
When I was
Mary.
Yeah.
What? Hey, Mary. So Mary, the Teachers Association allows her to come in and speak about a concept to what? Teachers. When I was doing this for Southwestern Bell, they have a place called Number 1 Bell. They have a huge conference room. And we had a couple hundred executives with Southwestern Bell attend a speaking event that I was at. And I was a single source, I was answering the demand right then and there of what they needed. And that was a realtor. Now, they all already knew realtors, right? A lot of them knew realtors. But I had the opportunity to say that you're moving your money to Texas, you're not just moving your families. I had lots of people very intrigued about that, and they contacted me. I wasn't even on the third-party relocation company's preferred vendor list. The transferees got me on the preferred vendor list. I think it was American Relocation for Southwestern Bell back then. So the teachers union, whatever, again, we're going to unpack that a little bit more. But when we come back, we're going to jump into the workshop. And it's just kind of like on The Apprentice, that you're going to have about 10 or 15 minutes to produce the idea. And then one realtor in the group is going to, one realtor in the group has to make the presentation, has to, hopefully volunteer to, and says, let me make that. Because I'd rather you fail here, the challenge here, than do it with a single source lead provider. Sound like fun?
Yeah.
All right.